Hello. The curtains are finally drawing to a close on the BEUFF, the film festival today. This is Samia Zaman with you today in this closing ceremony. This 21-day-long film festival was organized to celebrate the blooming friendship and cordial relationship between the European Union and Bangladesh, and to also mark off the 50th anniversary of our country, Bangladesh. This film festival screened 21 films in total, and 7 of which was from Bangladesh itself. 7 cinematic masterpieces were also chosen to be screened from the European countries. Many of them are new and fresh in Bangladesh, and all of which were subtitled in Bangla, which is something, of course, new. There was also 7 short films, all having the topic of climate change as focal point. These films were available to view for free of charge in an online platform called Festival Scope, and a dedicated website was also put up. And apart from these, several side events like masterclasses, film adda sessions, and interviews were also part of the schedule. This film festival was successful. Hopefully you all joined in as many sessions as you possibly could. In today's closing ceremony, we have several guests with us. Let me introduce them to you one by one, and I hope I'll see them on the screen as I see them and introduce them. We have the director of Dhaka International Film Festival, Ahmed Mustafa Jamal, with us. We have, yes, welcome. We have from Goethe Institute Munich, Nepomuk Zettel. We have the director of Alliance Française de Dhaka, Olivier Dattanger. Welcome. We have director of the Goethe Institute Dhaka, Dr. Kirsten Hackenbach. We have European, hi there. We have European Union delegation from the European Union, Jeremy Pritesco, Deputy Head Delegation of the European Union to Bangladesh, and festival organizer Arifur Rahman, who is a producer director from Kupi Bagha Productions Limited. We have another guest who will join us, Petra van der Eyck. If she's not there yet, she will. In the meantime, let's watch a trailer about this fantastic festival that we are closing today. The trailer of the So that was Bangladesh European Union Film Festival, which is coming to its end today. We want to know more about film festivals and how it is impacting our film community in Bangladesh and globally. Let me start the discussion with our one of the longest film festivals that's running in Bangladesh, Dhaka International Film Festival. And Ahmed Mustafa Jamal Shobhun, thank you very much for joining us today. Can you talk a little bit about this, that how, what kind of festivals are happening, and a little bit about your festival, you know, how people are joining it, and what kind of impact do you think it's making? Keep it very short. We'll get back to the discussion points through the whole hour.
Okay, thank you very much for inviting me. First of all, you know that in 1937, uh, first festival was held by the initiative of Mussolini. It was the Venice Film Festival, and then in 1939, Cannes Film Festival started. But after it took around 50 years to come to this region, like it was United Pakistan 1965. One festival was held in Karachi. Then after independence in 1971, Bangladesh had one film festival in 1981. It was with the support of the Bangladesh Federation of Film Societies. That was the government issue. But without government support, first private film festival had started from 1988 by Bangladesh Short Film Forum. It was short and documentary. Then we started a film festival from 1992, Fiction Film Festival, Feature Film Festival. That was the festival we started. Though there is no government film festival or there's no government officials are involved. So what happened? We don't have any permanent structure for the festivals. For the festivals, you need kind of venue. Like Cannes Festival has a venue. There's a screening facilities. Everything are very modern, equipped. There is a lot of space. In Berlinale, in a zoo plus.
And that is true for all our festivals, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, Short Film Festival or Dhaka International. You all have to work in makeshift places, basically. Yes.
Yeah. So what we have to do, we have to organize the screening facilities and everything, because though these are not the regular theater, and also the concept. I mean, in the mindset, the bureaucrats. I mean, we need support from the bureaucrats, because for film censoring and getting funding, getting the permissions and everything, we had to go through many hardship. I mean, it's very difficult, very complicated. Sometimes it's very difficult to convince the government people for the necessity of the film festival. A film festival can work as an ambassador of a country. A film festival can help to build a strong cultural environment in the country. As you know, film is a strong media. It can be reached easily with the people. So
yes. Well, about the people, what kind of audience are you getting? I mean, we are obviously talking about pre-pandemic time, but your festival is in January again. How the interaction with audience is happening? Are they coming to the festivals?
This year in January, there's a lot of audience came. Also, we had a platform. It was geo-blocking. It was viewed only in Bangladesh. But we had seminars and symposium, Women in Cinema Conference and Satyajit Ray seminar. 40,000 people viewed this seminar. That was the most successful event what we have done earlier. But there's a big number of people.
Yes, you have very nicely brought us to our next portion of the discussion. Actually, in the meantime, I'll welcome Petra van der Wijk from Red Orange. Welcome to this discussion, and I include you. This is a question for actually everybody, and I would like all to take turn. Is that what Ahmed Mustafa Jawal Shobhan was mentioning, the online portion of a festival, or actually holding a festival online, which Bangladesh European Union Film Festival is doing. Is this the new normal, or is this something you think going to stay? And how, what are the difficulties, or what are the good things you see about it? And in a country like Bangladesh, where there are a lot of young users online, but some technical difficulties sometimes. I would like to hear from all of you about this holding a festival online and going on with this. Where do I start? Maybe I start from the one of the hosts, the EU. Yes, Mr. Optimiscope, maybe you can start saying that why you decided to hold it online and what are the experiences. Let's keep it very short and move it around the room.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Samia. Yeah. Before starting the festival, we had no other option than doing it virtually, and then we were wondering if we will find any audience considering this very long COVID crisis we are all going through. We thought that probably people will be let's say bored by watching films online. We are all hearing about online fatigue, and then after it started, but we still decided to do it like that because there was no other option. And after it started, we were quite surprised to see that the audience was quite high and the engagement quite strong. So that was an excellent surprise, and that led us to the conclusion that having online festival is probably something which has to be looked at even in the future, even when the COVID crisis will be ended. Maybe we can think about doing festivals in a mixed way, having some in-person events, launchings or side events in person. Because of course we all need this contact, the vibe of an in-person event. But I have to say that this experience on having online movies and online festival has been, from our perspective, quite excellent. And the one who supported us in this idea was Kirsten from the Goethe Institute, who had already a small experience here on that topic, and then she was suggesting that you should try because it worked well. Yes.
Let's hear from her. And I can see lots of cinema posters. Is that behind you? It would be nice to know more about them. Kirsten, Dr. Karsten Hackenberg, of course, your institute has been a great support in Bangladesh in all the festivals, including what Ahmed was talking about before. But let's talk about the online, your experience, and how do you see we're going forward?
Before, I just want to add one thing. For me, as a festival organizer of the Dhaka International Film Festival, there's a big support was from the Goethe Institute, because Mrs. Lechner was the director in 1991 at that time. She sent me to Munich Film Festival. After coming back from that festival, I started Dhaka Festival because that was my big inspiration. That was my big lesson, how to do a film festival.
Yeah, these stories are actually very important for all to know. Kirsten, online.
Yeah, thank you. Online. Well, I agree with what Jeremy said, and we have made the experience that it is very, like, even with a low budget, you can get people around the world to actually talk to each other without the traveling, without the sustainability implication. I even wonder whether we are witnessing kind of a radical shift of how we watch films. So we have these large platforms gaining momentum. So is the future the home cinema, the smaller semi-public, maybe living room screenings? We've seen a very interesting hybrid event with the Berlinale, who had a completely online industry event, and then went for a public open outdoor screenings. So I think we're going to see more of this hybrid, and it would be really interesting to explore how we can make use of this online / it becomes more private, and again, it opens up more to a global world because we can bring people together in Q&A sessions much more easily and have very nice interactive sessions.
Our discussion today is a great example of that, including some of the organizers in different parts of the world. Ahmed mentioned Munich. That, of course, brings me to the Goethe Institute Munich. We have Nepomuk Zettel with us. Please add to the discussion.
Good afternoon. It's nice to be here. Well, I'm not only working for the Goethe Institute for the Film, Radio and Television Department, but I'm also a member of the consortium supplying the different EU film festivals or helping out in one place or another. It is challenging, but obviously in these times of COVID-19, and online festivals have been a good addition. My personal guess is that we will see more hybrid formats in the near future, and I'm very much hoping that this is not only the first Bangladesh European International Film Festival, but also that there are many to come. And love to see that there is not only this online format, but that in the near future we can all meet together in a physical space.
Okay. Director of Alliance Française, Olivier, I have to bring you here because not only we're all going to, or whoever can, for me, we're looking at Cannes Festival at the moment, but also France typically has been a great supporter and preserver of the cinema experience. So in that context, how do you look at this online festival experience and what's happening all around us?
Thank you, Samia. Bonjour. I concur with my colleague. I think this online experience, this online festival, we have with this festival, proof of the success of this type of festival. We had no alternative with the COVID-19. And we managed, on the pro side, we managed to reach a new audience, and we could reach people that could have never come to Dakar, in Chilpokola, in Alliance, at the Goethe, to view in a normal format, face-to-face screening. It wouldn't have been possible. But obviously, we're still missing this experience of watching a movie in a cinema hall. It's a complete different dynamic, and we have been collaborating since many years with the Dakar International Film Festival, with the International Children Film Festival in Dakar. But I hope that we will be able in the coming years, or in the coming months rather, to do an hybrid form. So at the moment, locally, we're doing as well some Cine Club festival online on our modest scale. It's working well as well. But Cannes will start soon, physically, and I hope that in the coming months there will be an improvement, and I hope that online won't be the new normal.
There will be. You're looking at a mixture. I think Arifur has to talk, but before that, of course, Petra van der Wijk from Red Orange.
Yes.
I would like to invite you to add to the discussion we have been having.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. My experience is only this one, this film festival, and I think it's the first. And we also have to remember it's the first film festival in Bangladesh, European Film Festival in Bangladesh. As already said, I think it was a great success. All the Bangladeshi films, almost all were sold out. And also for some, we had to ask for extra tickets. So that's a very good result, I would say. And also, as already said, that we could reach a broader public, and that is especially also the goal of the film festival and the bigger project which the film festival belongs to. Also, I would say that we had maybe a bit of influence of the short term which we had to organize this. So the promotion was online and not offline. So maybe in future, of course, I think we should do it in a hybrid way. But if we have more time to promote it more, then I think we really will have more visitors, because we cannot do it without it anymore. And also international public, I would say. People from the Netherlands, I know for sure they looked at Bangladeshi films, and I think that is really something great.
Although I think there might be some talks about geo-blocking or how you are kind of protecting your content. But let's get to Arifur Rahman, who has all the inside stories for us and played a major. He was a festival director. Arifur Rahman, tell us about your experience very shortly, and then we can go to our next topic.
Yeah, thank you so much. Actually, based on the topic of this discussion, I really believe online must not be the only option, because cinema is an experience, and we as an artist, as a filmmaker, we all believe like, we can cope up. When, on the film history, when the sound came, people never thought like sound will be, the 100% part of the film. But now, you can't even imagine without sound. So the same kind of shifting is going on. Like, it's online now, but it's actually not, because, at the end, like now I'm in France, and I'm here to join the Cannes Film Festival, and it's physical, and we can have all the physical experience. We can see the emotion of the filmmaker. That's the really important thing in this journey. We have to see the expressions, and we have to see the filmmakers' journey to their faces. So definitely it should be hybrid, but we are using the online technology thing, and it has the both kind of good and bad things.
Interesting thing is that the film itself is on screen. It's not live, it's not theater, or it's not one of our traditional performance. So there is some kind of a connection there probably between queer, online, and I think Petra has lost her connection, but she will be there. But these interesting debates, and I think various age groups, various global audiences are responding to it differently. I want to bring back from Munich, Nepomuk Zettel, that you mentioned earlier that it's not only this one, but you support many film festivals and radio, television, other communication medias, and globally also. So what about this global language of film, or that people say that it can transcend borders? This festival is a great example where films from various countries were there, and including Bangladesh, which is a different kind of, I would say, aesthetic and sensibility. Do you think film can actually reach people in other culture, and how festivals play a part in that?
Most definitely. And this occasion is one of the best examples for the possibility of films bringing people together. We mentioned earlier that we're connecting from so many different parts of the world to have this conversation. And it's interesting to see that these European film festivals have been established around the world and foster exchange in between. It's amazing to see a program of 7 Bangladeshi films, 7 EU films, and the short films that are international, that brings together so many different ideas. I'm a bit skeptical about the idea of film as a language, because it suggests that there is a film and it's just one message. But it's really great to see how many films involve so many people around the world, transnational film teams that really have reacted on globalization in a creative way, have come together and speak with so many different voices. And I think it is one of the challenges of one of such festivals as this one, to bring together these films, these different languages, these different perspectives, and give the opportunity for an audience to really form new ways of dialogue.
True, that is actually a long debate, that whether or not we are, certain kind of aesthetic parameter is, people kind of have to follow. Festivals are a great example of that to kind of fit into that. But from the positive point of view here, of course, Kirsten and Olivier, I want to ask you, because it has been mentioned again and again, how very important your institutes have been important and still playing a part in the Bangladesh, to support Bangladeshi films and to create festivals or help. What is the motivation? Is it only because it's part of your kind of the institutional agenda, or do you locally, like Goethe Institute Dhaka and Alliance Française Dhaka, do you create or carve your role here to support films in Bangladesh? I'll start with Kirsten and finish with Oliver.
Thank you, Samia. I think that partnering with the film scene, with festivals, is definitely kind of also a way of extending perspectives on the world and our being in the world. and very much also supporting a shift from a very Western-based global film industry to a more diverse setting up of languages. And certainly in the past couple of years, we have been very much bringing up an agenda of supporting female or feminist filmmaking in Bangladesh. Together with Samia and some other of the state-of-the-art filmmakers, independent filmmakers in Bangladesh.
That was a great program, actually. Hopefully we'll restart Through Her Eyes, regular film screening of women filmmakers, and hopefully from South Asia in the future. Olivia, the same question, why do you do it?
Because we think, obviously, this festival is a unique opportunity to promote cultural diversity and to basically share different perspectives, to discover other points of view on many topics. I think this festival and the selection is really an illustration that we had some drama, some comedy, but it's a unique possibility to reach out a large audience who will have the opportunity to discover independent movie. The commercial, there's not so many opportunity to discover these independent filmmakers. We have obviously more and more this Netflix platform, this Hollywood production in the theater, but the festival is really broadening the horizon of many viewers. I think that's the success, and I was always impressed by the success of Dhaka International Festival with Shogun or the Children Film Festival. I think the relation on the other note is just that obviously for French cinema it's as a crucial importance. And in Bangladesh, I discovered during my term here of 3 years the dynamism on the quality of the Bangladeshi filmmakers, producers. Just to mention, now in Cannes we have Arifour who's participating, who was instrumental for the success of this festival, but who was a producer. He was selected in La Fabrique du Cinéma program, a mainstream program. We have at the same in the official selection the movie of Abdullah Mohamed Saad,
yes.
Rehana Mariam Noor, on the Marché du Film, which is the industry market of Cannes Festival. We have Mokhlesu Rahman Talukdar Lenin, Nouash Humayun, Tarima Khan Tony. So it's really fascinating these dynamics, which is
actually we were talking about the cooperation, the regional and global cooperation. Tony and Lenin, they're both coming to this South Asia showcase, which my organization IFIB is presenting this year at Marché Cannes Docs. It's a great opportunity for all of us. I'm actually very excited about our journey in the global media. You brought Shogun's Festival. We have a little bit of time to talk about that. You mentioned, Shogun Bhai, the enormous challenges you face every year to do this festival, but can you go a little bit into this, that the kind of packages or the kind of films that we want to see in Bangladesh, and how possibly these institutes or embassies or EU can actually help even more to, because this is how we grew up. We watched films of various countries in our festivals, but brought by cultural institutions or the embassies.
Actually, tell you frankly, I don't need any that kind of support from this institute, because the time has changes, because they have their films, all are old film. But what we got, mainly we want to screen the contemporary film. We need the support, financial support. That is the most important thing. Because the institute has an old film, but for the retrospective, maybe we need the institutional support, like Goethe Institute or Alliance Française or European Union. Maybe they can help us to have a very specific program. But normally we have the Cinema of the World or Asian competition or the Women in Cinema segment or children's section, whatever it is, we are screening the contemporary film like this year or last year. But all the institute has a very old film. The rights of the new films are very rare, very rare. Some of them maybe they can bring very little bit, but unfortunately they don't have any budget for us. I mean, financial support especially. But it could be great. But the help is also that they give us the venue, like Alliance Francaise. We are doing last couple of years, and this year we are planning our screenplay lab. That will be a big program of the Dhaka Festival. First time we are doing. So Alliance Francaise is the venue where we are going to have this program. Before we did the Women in Cinema, but in the previously we had a lot of things we did with the Gotin Institute. Unfortunately, it was stopped. But let's see in the future, maybe we can have some.
I mean, collaboration, I'm sure, is something which is continuing, and there are ebbs and flows. It doesn't, stay at the same time. Quickly, Petra, I want to ask you some more questions, but since you're back on screen and I don't want to miss you again, is that you mentioned from the Red Orange Media and Communications a little bit about your experience, how the lead time was shorter and you wish there were more time to promote. What is your particular view about our audience and response and technology? Because for many people that is challenged sometimes, even theoretically, that whether or not something online can be done in Bangladesh given our technical situation. What was your experience, Petra? We can't hear Petra.
She has to unmute.
Yeah, you're back.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, as Red Orange, we were very proud to be part of this film festival. And yes, there is a challenge in Bangladesh. You noticed it. I was disconnected several times because of my internet, even in Dhaka. So that is a challenge here. But even so, I think internet is improving and improving, also spread through the country. Everybody has mobile access. So in that sense, we can continue organizing events like this. If you look back at what has been reached in this festival in terms of visibility, and then I can say it was very successful. And of course, for the coming period, we really, and coming years, we really want to organize this again together with the EU and other partners. And then, as already mentioned, it should be in a combined way. But if I can add for the visibility, that was the goal of this film festival as part of this bigger project. I can say that 4,400 people watched the films, and I have to look it up, sorry, but and also, which was a really big success, that 1.5 million new visitors came to the Facebook page of the EU. So due to this festival, the EU get more visibility, and that was what we want to reach. Also, 10,000 people went to the website.
That must have made EU very happy to get all this traffic. But it is nice you're talking about figures, but it will be actually very interesting to have them properly published, because I think everybody in the film community in Bangladesh and maybe even abroad will want to look at these figures when we are planning our next activities. Yes. EU, let me get back to Jeremy here, is that a lot is expected. This festival, of course, is much appreciated. But my question was a little bit general, that about your activities more in the cultural sector, because there is sometimes we find who are involved in very different kinds of cultural activities, including film, of course, is the support for that is not always as obvious or as available compared to some economic activity or social kind of activity. So what are you telling to our audience? Because this festival obviously was a big, organized by you and a big step. So can you tell us more about your plans and what is your take from this festival, from organizing this festival?
Thank you very much. Samia, yeah, obviously one of our main goals with this festival is to create this cultural dialogue between Europe and Bangladesh, and obviously for us as European Union, film festivals is one of the, let's say, easiest and most obvious tool for creating this dialogue. I want to take the occasion for thanking our colleagues from Brussels and from the Goethe Institute and from Alliance Française, who really helped us a lot in organizing this festival. They are helping 90 delegations around the world. We have 139 European Union delegations around the world, and 90 of them are organizing a film festival. And by seeing this number, I was wondering why Bangladesh has not a film festival, and that's how a little bit everything started. So first of all, yes, for this cultural dialogue. Then it's I think for the EU it's quite interesting for the EU, because having the EU film festival is helping people to understand what is the EU, what is the diversity. When you watch these 7 EU films, you can see the very big difference between the Spanish movie and the French movie. It's getting a kind of sense on how EU is diverse. And then the other objective we had in this festival was, of course, to try to share a little bit more what we are doing as European Union in Bangladesh, especially in our cooperation development activities. This has been especially, let's say, underlined by our side events. For example, yesterday we had a very interesting masterclass on green cinema and on green production, which had a great success and was extremely interesting. And that's one of our major activities here, everything which is related to climate change adaptation. And there are others as well. I don't want to get too much into the details, but then we are here very, very much active in skills and education, in women empowerment. We had several debates with women filmmakers and around women in cinema. So that was another of our goals by organizing this festival. And I have to say, as it has been said, the number of tickets, because the audience had to buy tickets even if they were for free. The number of tickets was quite high, more than 4,000 tickets, which is quite a lot. If we had organized this festival in theaters, I'm not sure that we would have been able to get so many tickets. We don't have yet the final numbers because the festival is still on, but from next week we will have like quite precise numbers, and I think it will be very encouraging for all of us to see how much how big the audience was.
Although numbers in Bangladesh are kind of like a difficult proposition, because what is a very high number in Europe is a kind of a very low number in Bangladesh.
I want to add one more word, because in European Union had a film festival in 2005 in Dhaka at the British Council. Alliance Française was there, Goethe Institute was there, and Rainbow Film Society organized this festival. It was in 2005. So this is not the first time festival. We did before in 2005. When it was stopped, it was started this year with Bangladeshi films. But the European Union Film Festival was held in Bangladesh in 2005 at the British Council.
I think even later I saw in with Cineplex.
That was the first.
That
was the first. But later it was happened to 2-3 events. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. I mean, there is a continuing process, lot of engagement, obviously, from the European countries, European Union, specifically Goethe Institute and Alliance Française. I mean, very much part of our film ecosystem in Bangladesh. There is no doubt about that. I want to definitely ask very particularly Arifur Rahman about his experience because he was running the show. But one point very quickly, I want to run through everybody is that we spoke about, especially Jeremy, at the end, you spoke about various climate, which is a very particularly interesting point for Bangladesh. But another thing which is, I think, missing in the discussion right now is the use of new media, VR, AI, all kind of new technology and film. And given Bangladesh is kind of like positioning itself to be a new tech hub, how do you see that in future and how do you plan to support that? If anybody wants to take up this question, welcome. Nobody wants to talk about it.
Yeah. So maybe I can
talk about it. Yeah.
No, I can add a little bit about that because to do all the side events, we had to incorporate all the platforms like StreamYard, Zoom Webinar. So each and every single software has its merits and demerits. So we learned a lot, and we had to cope up, and we had to change things accordingly to make it more smoother. And yeah, and the interaction from the audience was like tremendous, though we didn't could accommodate them like 100%. They just mostly watched the shows live, but the masterclass, it was like it was a process to select them, and the number of application was like overwhelming. But at the end, it was kind of hybrid, and we tried to incorporate all the technology in one platform. And definitely EU and Prothom Alo page, it was really a great support for us, to spread the news, because I think through this festival we have created a new number of audiences for this kind of festival, and at the same time we introduced the Bangla subtitle for each and every single European film. So it's a great addition, I think.
That is actually something very special. Do you see that is both from the organizers and you also who organizes other stuff too, a much regular possibility for regular screening schedule compared to a yearly festival? Do you see that happening?
Yeah, I think it's already like initiated by Goethe Institute, because they changed the way of screening from physical to hybrid.
Yes.
I mean, it's more online now, and it's I think it should be more frequent if it's online. And the end of the year there should be a festival like that, could be online and physical altogether. Yeah.
Let's all plan various activities. Kirsten, you want to add something to that, what Arifur just mentioned? Because I know you have a very strong film program.
Well, I would like to add on the VR and AI question.
Yes, please. Yes.
And I want to turn it around and not say what we do, but rather say or give an invitation to the film community in Bangladesh to let us actually know what they need, so that we can together brainstorm on kind of potential supports and whom can we connect with each other to explore how that can be a future in film.
Yeah, because I definitely know some very young filmmakers, but some established filmmakers, like established meaning like comparatively Shumit, they're doing Rizwan Shahriar, Shumit, they have already done VR stuff and want to do more. And Olivier, you were talking about Cannes Festival, where one of the most exponentially growing space is Cannes Next. If you check that, I was just blown away by that. But I think where they talk about all the new technologies that are coming into filmmaking, a new expression. We were talking about film language previously, but rather than content language, this could be another thing, like immersive experience. ITFA just declared they want immersive projects. So are we preparing ourselves in Bangladesh to compete in those kind of platforms. And I think that's where EU, being at the very forefront of technology and very forefront of creating this kind of content in the whole world, I'm not even going into gaming and other things, could actually be an extremely supportive organization for Bangladesh. We're slowly coming to the end of our discussion. I would like to do a round about your experience about the festival and what you want to see in the future. Olivier, you wanted to say something, it seemed?
No, but no, I just take the opportunity to thank again all the partners on the EU, on Arifu was instrumental to this festival, on Jeremy. It's on Red Orange as well. It was a wonderful experience. I definitely will reach other targets, other type of public. And it was a fantastic promotion of cultural diversity. So I hope there will be next editions. What I would like as well, the Goethe Institute, the Alliance Française are doing regular Cine Club, which are online. Obviously, we don't manage to have such a promotional package, but I would like to invite the viewers to see these regular screening online, because it's not only retrospective. There's really young filmmakers films that we're showing, documentary film festival, animation festival. There's a team each month. So in the Alliance, I know the Goethe is doing as well this type of program. So I hope that we will have the opportunity to have more regular viewers for this independent type of movie screening. And I hope that this festival will have a great success in these coming years. So I'm looking forward to have to see the organization of the Dhaka International Festival with Shogun, which was extremely successful through these past years.
Yeah, always looking for support. I'm glad you mentioned documentary, because the festival programming did have documentaries, but as a very active documentary organizer, I noticed the lack of participation of documentary and lack of highlighting. We have Dhaka Doc Lab, a documentary project laboratory coming up in August in Dhaka, and of course the viewers who are young documentary makers, they should apply, and I'm sure, as usual, Goethe, Alliance, and EU and others will extend their support to these film activities. Let's go straight to Munich and hear kind of like a last word about your experience with the festival and some word for the future.
Well, it's interesting to see how different all these festivals interact and how different the audiences are, and at the same time so similar. I think one of the takeaways that will point to the future events and future festival is that, given the challenge and the competition with commercial streaming platforms, curation of the programming in itself gets an even bigger role. And this is one thing I think we all can be excited about, to see new programs, to see diverse programs and challenging programs. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what's happening with the Bangladesh Youth Film Festival.
Fantastic. Last word from Ahmed Mustafa Jamal Shogun.
Well, actually, I'm really looking forward to work with everybody, and I'm inviting to join you in the Dhaka International Film Festival, especially European Union and Goethe Institute and the Alliance Française also. For the Dhaka Festival, we are having our 20th edition. It will be 30 years of the Dhaka International Film Festival. So we are really looking forward for this next January. This year we are planning a lot, and it will be physical and hybrid both. We are planning to do, and we are having a retrospective of Oju, and then I wrote to European Union to organize a European one retrospective. Already I sent a proposal to Jeremy. I don't know.
Let's see. It's festival season. Yes. We will also have short film festival in December.
Yes.
Petra and last word. We have a little bit of time left.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much for being a part of this organizing this film festival. As we said, I think it was very successful. We are looking forward to do it next year and years after, together with all of you. Again, I think it was already said, it's really important that we also give the Bangladeshi filmmakers a platform, and that we also translate, subtitle it in a good way, so that everybody can get more used to and more familiar with the culture of Bangladesh. And also the documentaries were very interesting. So I think the combinations of the European films, the documentaries, and the Bangladeshi films, I think it was very wonderful. So we're looking forward to the next ones.
Next edition. Karsten.
Yeah, also congratulations to the EU and to Red Orange and Gubi Baga in the organizing team to bringing out really, or establishing very successfully, a new platform for film in Bangladesh, and for giving a platform that allows for this filmy adda to start picking up as well. I think it was wonderful to include filmmakers from Bangladesh, and that is both established and younger ones who are up and coming, and to kind of also show a diversity of films from Bangladesh via this platform. And I think the festival has shown once more, a couple of you emphasized this earlier, that like if we are in collaboration, we can really make a strong, good impact. Looking forward to more to come.
Great. And lastly, Jeremy, definitely everybody's looking at you for thanking you for supporting this one and also for future ones. Please say your parting words for our festival audience also. Yeah.
Thank you very much for this kind of words. I would like to add that the main question for such a festival is the added value. What is the added value of this kind of festival? And then for having a positive added value, I think it's very important to have a very strong linkage with the local context. This is first of all the Dhaka International Festival. So really, I'm looking forward to cooperate with the Dhaka International Festival. Then we have to find a linkage as well with the local films. I think we should maybe create a dialogue between the Bangladeshi movies and the EU movies, which we didn't succeed to fully create this year. But I think in the programming phase for the future festivals, we should look really into details in how to create this dialogue, this linkage. And then third added value that I see, and that's very important as well, are the side events. Thanks to this hybrid format, that's really what commercial platforms are not offering. Discussion with the filmmakers, discussions with the producer, master classes. So every movie should have a kind of packaging custom made for the Bangladeshi audience. And I think that's really my main takeaway, these three linkages and these three added values for the next hopefully editions. And then this gives me the occasion as well to thank everyone, all the implementing partners, all the partners, and as well Proto Malo, who has been a fantastic partner for the festival. It offered us a huge visibility, and I think that was key. That was key as well. And then thank you as well all our moderators. We had several moderators in this festival. They all done a fantastic work, and especially you, Samia. Thank you very much for this.
Thank you. This is my turn to thank everybody, of course, and organizers, our audience, and we make our films for the audience, so they get the most thank. But thank you to all of you for participating today. Arifur, one last word from you, and then we can bring it to a close.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. And this festival was like a film we made together. It's actually, as I designed the festival as a producer, and all the partners, so we did it together, like Jeremy, Arnab Chakraborty, the Prothom Alo team, the Vibhaga team, Red Orange team. We worked like day and night because the time was really short, and at one point it felt like it's impossible. But today, it's we can see, like, the result is there, and I think this is the great success because the audience enjoyed it. And I really want to thank from my heart to the audience, the Bangladeshi audience. They rocks. They are super. Like, they enjoyed the film, and at one point we had to extend the ticket. And we are planning to extend the festival a little bit, like 1 or 2 days. It depends on the availability of the film, but it was great. And one point I really want to say, this festival focused on climate change and the women filmmakers from Bangladesh, and I was overwhelmed when I was curating the film list. There was numerous number of women filmmakers in Bangladesh. They need to take on the spotlight, and they're coming. Like, they will do tremendous work in the future.
Karsten is ahead of us, ahead of you in this, yeah. But thank you very much again from my behalf. Thank you for inviting me to be part of it today. As not like as a moderator, as an organizer. I'm also always with film and film organization, and all the people that I've met today and will meet in future. Of course, our audience who are watching through this platform. Like Arifur and Jeremy said, the EU delegation and the producer of the festival said, you deserve the most recognition and appreciation. I wonder if we will at some point have simultaneous translation also, because sometimes our discussion was at such level. I was wondering it would be very nice to have a transcript later for printing, or even while this is happening. Technology is, catching up, it will happen. The Bangladesh European Union Film Festival is finally coming to an end. Festival was amazing initiative, which helped our cinephiles, like we were discussing, and the film enthusiasts to enjoy these masterpieces or great works from various corners of the world, meaning EU and Bangladesh, from the comfort of our homes. And the festival is, the aim of the festival is to start a new chapter of cooperation between EU and Bangladesh, especially in the cultural field, and that is great news for everybody concerned. And education, women's rights, climate, various issues were highlighted through the film selection. Food and nutrition security, governance, safe migration. The issues are plenty in Bangladesh, and EU has been a strong partner in many of these issues, in many implementing partner. So film is another strong media where work will continue. And EU's priorities in the development cooperation of Bangladesh will be was highlighted in this film festival, and the engagement with the audience, of course. And we would also like to thank the European Union specifically for organizing this event and to enhance the modes of cultural exchange between the two parties, EU and Bangladesh. And leave a note of thanks for the media partners and to all those who helped organize the event, and specifically thank the filmmakers. We didn't talk about the filmmakers at all, I think, who created these films, which makes all this possible. These stories of hope and dream, and Bangladesh is a young country full of youth. All this is encapsulated in our films, and same for EU. Hopefully this journey will continue, and we will finish our session with a trailer about the festival. Goodbye, everybody.
Au revoir.
Goodbye.